Hello and welcome to today's edition of Photoshop Basics. My name is Dave Lappin. I've been working with Photoshop for nearly 20 years now, and today I want to talk about using Photoshop brushes. Now, if you are somewhat familiar with Photoshop, one of the things that you want to do is when you want to make sure that you're aware of using the layers palette first of all. And if you look over here, I have my background image, which is the lady that's sleeping here, and then I've added an additional layer above, and that's actually the layer that I'm going to work on with the brushes palette today. So I already have that selected. I'm going to close that. And in working with the Photoshop brushes, you simply go over to the brush icon. It's just the brush tool. You want to select that. And then go under Window on the menu bar, come down to Brushes, and that will open up your brushes palette. And Photoshop comes with some preset Photoshop brushes, basically the round ones that you see here, but you can actually go online and do a search for free Photoshop brushes, and so you can download just a whole host of different brushes that you may want to use in your image. And so you can see different ones that I have here. We have plant images, there's a leaf, there's plants, just different ones that you have available. But in this case, I want to use a star in this particular image. And so you simply click on that star to select it. And you can see it comes out of size already. And actually the color of that star is going to be determined by your foreground color over here. You have a foreground color and a background color. I have the foreground color as yellow right now. And so I'm going to select that. I'm going to make sure my opacity in this case is set at 100%. So you can change the opacity of that brush while in the process of using it. And so I have it set at 100%. And so you can actually change the size of that brush as you need to as you go along. But we're going to start out with this size. And so you simply, again, I'm working on a layer. And so I'm going to click and create a star. I can create, obviously whatever stars I need to use in this image. And if I need to change the size of that brush, I go over here where it says brush, and it's going to bring up this the diameter, basically diameter of the different brushes that you're using. I have that one selected, so I'm going to make it smaller. You simply move that slider to the left, and that's going to make a smaller brush. You can see the star here already is going to be a smaller star. And so you just simply click as many stars as you need in this particular case. And again, I'm going to open up my layers palette. And again, I've just used that on a layer. So if you're using, creating something new in Photoshop, make sure you're working on a layer, because that's something you turn off and turn on, as I'm doing in this case. And if you find that's something that you don't want to even use, then you can simply discard it altogether. But again, that is using the brush tool. But again, you have a lot of different brushes at your disposal. You have what I call blurry brushes here. That's a little big that we'd want to use. If I want to use something smaller, again, I go up here to the slider and move that to the left. And if I want to brush, I'm going to click on the image here. If I want to brush, I simply do it like so. And again, you can undo that. And so that's very simply the brush palette. Again, do a search online for different Photoshop brushes free Photoshop brushes that you may need, and you may be surprised at what you can find. If you want to learn more about Photoshop Basic, click on the link below so you can learn a lot more about using Photoshop from a basic standpoint in your Photoshop project. And thank you for joining me today.